Hey there, welcome back to Ask Amy. I have a question today from Benita. Benita says, I ordered the Little Book of Big Change and was halfway through when it resonated so much with me that I signed up for the Little School of Big Change. At about session 6 or 7, I felt a light switch go off in my head. I knew in that instant that I got it, but the switch went immediately off and I felt I had lost it. I know it sounds insane, but that's what happened. Over this past weekend, when I usually eat candy, etc., I had no urge. At the grocery store, I walked past the bakery with no desire to pick up cookies and no problem walking away from the goodies in the lunchroom. I'm a certified healing touch practitioner, so I work with energy, and I've always known that I am more than my body, and it's just the shell I was put into. Have I got it? It seems so easy. Will it go away? I'm afraid my food desires will return. So, Benita, I love this question so much because it's so incredibly common. What you're asking, what your experience is, the fact that you had this experience and that it's confusing and that your mind is scrambling in a sense to try to hold on to something and the fear about it going away, all of it. I just want to start there and just let you know that yes, 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 yes. What you're sharing and what you're concerned about and all of it is so incredibly common. Okay, so this is not just you. It doesn't sound insane at all because I just see it all the time. All the time. So, what I want you to kind of look toward a little bit is a little bit well, see, you talk about, and this is how people talk about it. We talk about, I got it, the light went on, then the light went off, and I lost it. So this, I got it, I lost it, I have it now, everything's different, but am I going to lose it later? Is it going to go away? That's so normal. That's how human beings speak, right? But it kind of gives this impression that there's a you, Benita, that has something that you need to hold on to, and that you're powerless and it just can vanish in any moment. And if it vanishes, then you, Benita, lost it. And now you're back in some horrible place where you don't want to be. And I know you feel the sense of this, and this is how it can feel for us. Um, and so that makes it hard. It puts you in the center of this, as if there's some better or worse you, and something, something, there's a lot of attachment, a lot of I need it, and there's an it puts an it at the center of this, like there's some it that you have that you might not have later. And while I know a lot of that is just our language and it's just how we speak, it makes a big difference. I think all of that language can kind of make this feel exactly kind of how it feels to you. Like, where did this miracle come from? It's totally mysterious. And I have a feeling it might leave at some point, and that would be devastating. So it's a very sort of dramatic story, and that's just how our mind talks about it. That's the only way that your mind can kind of figure out or try to figure out what's happened. I read this book, I took this course, I got something, then I felt like I lost something, but now these things are changed, and that's all so normal, and it's just the way a mind talks about things. So just hold that really loosely. Your language will do what it does, but just hold it really loosely and kind of consider that there is no it. There is no this it that feels so real and solid. It's not really. You're just in a state. You know energy. You work with energy. You're just in an energy where certain things that used to pull to you just simply aren't pulling to you at the moment. There is no bigger it that, or light that has come on that can then get extinguished and everything fall apart. It's not really like that. So just hold it really, really loosely. So I love that you work in energy, um, because I think that's a great way to sort of see in a sense, and again, hold these words very loosely too, but it's a good way to kind of get a feel for what happens is, or, you know, what any of this is it's all energy. All of it, you know this, everything is energy. All of life is energy. And energy's always fluctuating. Energy's always moving. When someone comes in to see you, and I don't really know about your work, I'm just kind of assuming. Someone comes in to see you, you help their energy move a bit. You see that as the energy gets moving, or as it, however, whatever words we want to use, as it rises or falls or whatever, things look and feel different. And that's always, always, always happening. And I would say that's all that's happening right now. And I think that's really good news. And it's a good way to sort of have a feel for this very lightly and loosely, is that sometimes we just hear things and it's not even in the words at all, but something in what you heard or felt or read or whatever, just like something just sort of shifts. And that happens all the time. Happens all the time for us as human beings. Even just going about any normal day, we hear something or see something, something shifts in us, and suddenly our mood goes up or down a little bit. So, and then it continues to move around, of course. So I just say that to see how totally universal and already always happening this is. It's so typical and normal. Now, in this case, again, maybe it was a little bit bigger shift, like something fell away or something was heard and your mind got a little quieter. It's the habitual repetitive stuff is either silent or just off in the background and just doesn't have the same pull. That happens for people often. And the energy's just a bit shifted. And again, don't hold to that really like a scientific fact, but I think that's a helpful, very light and open way of kind of seeing this. So from this space that you're in with your mind, when all its repetitive, habitual desires and urges and cravings and conversations sort of off to the background a bit, you're having the experience you're having. Your mind isn't going certain places. You can see a cupcake, no big deal. Like that's just the experience you're in. It's awesome. This is showing you, Benita, that this is always possible for you, that you don't have, and I know you didn't say this in your question, but I'm speaking to everyone here, you don't have a sugar addiction. Where'd it go? You don't have a food problem. You, Benita, don't have this thing because look, you're getting this experience of, hey, it's nowhere to be found. That is the gold. So that right there, that we walk through life taking everything so personally. We take energy so personally. We think this energy is who I am and it's reflecting my issues and all of this. No, it's not. There's a little energy that shifted and look, totally different experience. That's the gold. I know it's awesome to not want that stuff and to have the freedom, and that is possible. You're feeling it. But I want you right now to kind of see, wow, isn't this crazy? What is this showing me? That some shift that I don't even know what it was, and bam, things can feel different. That this is showing you that this is always possible, that this is who you are, that this is always there. So, will the old thinking come back? I don't know, but it tends to, and not in the same way. It's it's actually part of the deepening when this stuff comes back. So think of it this way, Benita, like you can be in whatever feeling you're in now, thoughts are quiet, all that's great. And maybe at some point you start wanting certain things or your mind starts talking about certain things again. You are going to see that in a different way. It's not going to be a replay of the past. There is no replay of the past. Life doesn't work that way. Things don't get recycled. I mean, habitual thoughts happen, right? But the past is done. There's no such thing. So our mind tends to recreate what looks like the past because we believe in that. But life is fresh in every moment. So you're not going to get an old feeling back. You're not going to get the past back. You're going to get whatever experience shows up fresh now. And it may be reminiscent of wanting the baked items or whatever. It may be. But you are not the same, Benita. This is what I want you to see. Like this shift is showing you, oh wow, that's just a fluctuation. That's like old weather that may or may not come back. And likely will. But it won't feel like, it doesn't have to be like it was before. So I hope that makes some sense. Now, it does happen. Again, of course. I mean, a mind is very habitual. A brain is a very habitual machine. It might bring up some of that stuff at some point. But you get to see it with fresh eyes. You get to see, oh, look, there's those thoughts and there's those inclinations, but clearly those aren't me because where have they been? How did they just up and leave for a while? Like it gets to show you another side of this so that if and when old habitual thoughts come back, they get to be seen with fresh eyes. And that's where the deep and lasting change comes from. Almost everyone I work with, when I work with people in the live Little School of Big Change, they have a, they have some freedom like this, and then they get the opportunity for things to come back, and they get the opportunity to see those things with fresh eyes in a new way and see, wow, this is not who I was. It never was. This is not this powerful hijacking force I thought it was. That doesn't mean it always feels easy and like no big deal, but even when it's hard, even when it feels big and scary, you still are going to have a different view of it. It still comes and goes, and it's not who you are. So I hope it's helpful. I love that you've had this shift. It's an excellent sign. It's really showing you something big. And no matter what comes your way, because stuff will come your way, no matter what comes your way, you get to remember, oh, yeah, that's just experience coming my way. Something like closer to what I felt before, well, that's always there. This feeling you're in now, always there, always available. So thanks for sending this, Benita. I really hope it's helpful. I'm so grateful that you found your way to this and that you're seeing so much. It's awesome. Thanks everyone for listening. I hope it's helpful to others too. Super common, so I'm sure it is. Send your questions to askamy at thelittleschoolofbigchange.com. And I will be back here next Monday, every Monday, speaking to the next one. Have a great week.